We're going to do some GM prep. Here we go. So today's goal is to put together enough so that I can, according to the Kevin Crawford principle of game master preparation. And this is my universal rule. I think that I will likely always think about prep in this way, thanks to Kevin. I think the first time I saw this in the revised version of Stars Without Number, Kevin basically says to do GM prep only what you need for the next session, right? For me, it's an episode. So just get through the next episode while keeping in mind your overarching campaign stuff, your plans for the general kind of flow of your game. Think about that. Keep it in mind. And then just make sure you're ready for whatever you need for the next session alone. Then, if you're still having fun, do more prep. That's it. That's the rule. Just prep until you don't want to prep anymore. And then don't stop until you have what you need for your game. So what I need to do is figure out pacing, I guess. This is the thing. So my main thought about where Verona is at right now is making sure that the pacing feels good. The pacing feels right. Because like I mentioned, I think if you're a patron, if you're a RollPlay patron and you watch the post show, I talked a little bit about during that last one how I'm struggling a bit with the pacing of Verona season 2, not because I think it's bad necessarily, but because I anticipated the first 6 or so episodes. I anticipated them being about as long as they were. I figured they would probably leave the planet. We would get out of the end of the first arc on episode 6 or so, right? 6 or 7, somewhere in that range. And that worked out great. But the problem was it feels like the players didn't really get anything accomplished because that 6 episodes took June, July, August, September, like 5 months to get through. So I'm a little sensitive about the pacing of the game as a show right now. I want to make sure that it feels like the beginning part was meant to hit with a bang, right? It was meant to be like 6 weeks of let's get to know the characters in a crisis situation. If you watch my GM prep for that, you know that was my plan. And I think I did set that. And I think we accomplished that, but in real time, it took so much longer than I had anticipated or hoped. And it's not that I'm like disappointed or upset or really bothered by that. It's just I need to consider that going forward. Now, it's my understanding that we're going to get back to doing several episodes, one after another in fairly close succession, right? We have an episode tomorrow, which I predominantly have to prepare for today. And then hopefully we'll be able to nail down hitting a few weeks at least in a row of every Saturday being able to play. That's my hope, so we can have that momentum. Now, we're out of what I would consider to be the introductory arc of the campaign. Right? We know the characters. Now what we need to do is understand what they are going to be doing in this game, right? This is going to set the tone for the rest of whatever the arc is, the rest of the season. This is kind of the intro. Season. And I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to, like, I guess there's an opportunity for downtime to be like, cool, you have a month or whatever, right? But I don't know. They're on the ship and they're headed somewhere, and we need to figure out what to do with them, right? And again, in the Patreon post show, I talk to my players, which is the advice I always give everybody. I talked to my players and I said, okay, what do you want to do, right? What are you interested in as a group? And it sounds to me like what they want is to figure out what happened to Autumn's little sister. She is our MacGuffin. She's our holy grail, right? She is our magic sword. So we need to figure out why she's important, not just to Autumn, right? Because she's intrinsically important because she's Autumn's little sister and Autumn's like motivation. And I need to figure out why the universe gives a shit about her, right? I like the idea that she's been captured or kidnapped. I like the idea that she was in safe hands and then they couldn't deliver her to Yukiya to be reunited with her sister. And so she's gone missing. And I want them to have to find her and save her from whoever has her, right? And it can't be, I don't think it can be the empire. You know what? Let's lay it all out. So first of all, I just want to both kind of shout out and like give some appreciation to Mara. Mara has been just amazing at keeping notes for this campaign. So this is Mara's notes document. Okay, here we go. 7th of July. That was our first session. So these are notes for our current game. These are all the notes of everything that's happened in the game. I just want to show you. I don't know if you can see this. There are 79 pages of notes. 79. These notes are incredibly detailed. And what is great about these is I always love going back at them. Mara puts in links to like pictures and videos and like little, like if I make a reference, Mara will go and find, look, little YouTube videos to like fill in the references in case I forgot what I was talking about. It's so good. These are the best. They're just fantastic GM notes. And Mara is doing that for us for the show. It's fucking amazing. So thank you, Mara. These are incredibly helpful for me, both for doing the recaps and for remembering what happened from moment to moment in a game. I don't have to like worry or go back and dig for it in a YouTube video. It's pretty great. So thank you, Mara, for that. So Mara's notes have been instrumental in helping me kind of keep track of stuff and what's been going on. I will be referring back to these several times, but let's kind of lay out where I'm at and what the deal is. So this is prep. This is prep for episode 6, I think. Onward was the last episode, 5 or 6. Mara will know. Maybe it's episode 7 for the last one was 6. So this is actually 7 plus because we're prepping for 7 right now. Okay. All right. So I always leave these little bits in here to show me the length of the episode, just to remind me. I've put some sarcastic quotation marks around 15 minutes because it's sometimes like longer than that. It's a pre-show. That's how it goes. And that lays it out for us. So my goals for this episode is to, let's talk about it. So set up for the second arc after introducing the characters and their primary antagonist. We need to establish what's going on. Establish the what of the game. Because we have the who, right? And we basically have the why, right? We understand the core concepts. We set those up already. Now what we need to do is figure out like what is this game about, right? Introduce important NPCs and give the players some agency to proceed. So twofold, right? My primary goal is give the players a place to operate from, some potential allies, and enough solid ground they can go after Autumn's sister, who is just she's got to have a name, right? Let me look. Let me look and see if Mark... I don't think Mark ever said it necessarily. He just keeps saying my sister. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that they're... Oh, here we go. Okay. Aha! Landra. That's her name. Weep. Okay. I don't want to show off Mark's whole backstory here. Landra. Okay, so NPCs. Landra Vasca, a synthetic, humanoid. Okay, perfect. Okay, let me adjust because I copied and pasted. Okay, there we go. Landru Vasca. Okay, perfect. So she's our MacGuffin. We'll talk a little bit more about her in a second. Okay. All right. So primary goal is to give the players a place to operate from, some potential allies, and have solid ground they can go after Autumn's sister. Secondary goal, continue giving the players an opportunity to show off their motivation and set that motivation against the core goal of the thing. Core goal of the party, right? Tension, right? Creating tension and choice. The purpose of making these two primary and secondary goals is that what I want is I want the primary goal to be Autumn's sister is important somehow, not only to Autumn, but to everybody at once, right? And that's easy. This is going to be, it's so easy to make someone into a MacGuffin, right? That's super easy. So I have to just set this system up so that they need to go after her. But then what I want to do is have their personal goals conflict with the goals of the party, right? So in this sense, I want to say, okay, you could advance the primary goal, or you could either in secret or in public advance your own goals. So I guess to that end, I want to write down everyone's motivations. And then maybe make some notes about what I could do to kind of like trigger or activate those motivations. So we have Autumn, Johnny, Haley, and Jasna. That's how it's spelled. Okay. And Jasna. Okay. All right. And then each of them will have 4 motivations, and we'll get to that in a second. So, okay. I guess I have a lot of questions because I'm not really sure. I guess let's talk about this. What do I need to figure out? So, where does the protect Yannick take them? Why does it take them there? Who is waiting there? Are these people friends or enemies or undecided? I think that's all I really need to know. I guess who else knows about this place? I figure they're probably going to some kind of synth safe house, right? I guess also, okay, who knows about Autumn? Who can be useful to the party? Who is a liability? Who is a straight up traitor, right? Okay. So that's good. Yes, yeah, sorry, the Protect Yannick is the name of the ship. Yeah. Okay, and then I guess what does everyone think of the PCs? Right, I guess this is all going to be like the first episode of a new arc is like introducing the new characters and showing them like you're kind of safe. I mean, you're not safe anywhere, but you're kind of safe here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think that makes sense. We can come back and fill in more stakes questions as we go. Hang on a second. I think I need to make a map if I don't have one already. Not a map. I'm sorry, I'm opening draw.io and I have to authorize a bunch of Google shit. Hang on. what I need is I need to start drawing a relationship map. That's what I need. That's what this season needs now. We're at that point and I don't have one yet. Okay, so let's do that. I was just double checking to see if I had one already. All right, so this is gonna be Far Verona. Let me come back to this gameplay mode. Here we go. Far Verona Season 2 relationship map. All right, boom. Just use the root folder for now. Okay. All right. So let's put the PCs on here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. How do I? Yeah, there we go. All right. Jasna, Solari. Jasna, do you have one I or two in your name? One. Okay. Jasna Solari, synthetic soldier. Okay. And then we got Autumn Vasca. Countess Autumn Vasca, thank you very much. Countess Eridanis Autumn Vasca, if we're going to be for real. Okay. We have Haley Sky. God, I'm just waiting for, like, I was gonna call it a heel turn, but like, I'm just waiting for her to do something really vicious. Like it just keeps kind of like, yeah, that's true. If I want to be Imperial proper, I should call her Vasca Autumn. There we go. I can't wait. She's gonna do something like real evil, and I can't wait to see it. Some idiot human is gonna trust her. And she's going to like murder them horribly. And I'm seriously, I can't wait. I'm here for it. Okay, all right. So Jasna and the Countess Eridanis and Haley, and then we got Gianni Collins. Outdated bartender. There we go. Okay, so there's our PCs. Let's make them like blue, I guess. Okay, and then we'll do NPCs. I guess we could do like friendly NPCs in green. Yeah, we'll do red, green, and yellow for friends, enemies, and allies. Or friends, enemies, and neutrals. Okay, all right. So go, and then we'll do one more, and we'll make that red. There we go. Okay. All right. Hold on. I wonder if I can I do all these at once? Oh, I can. Sick. Okay. All right. So let's take a look here. So obviously enemies, their main enemy is Captain Crux Ibanez Yancy. Ibanez was his last name, right? Captain Crux Ibanez Yancy. He has another, like, much more Germanic title, but I can't remember what it is. But I'm gonna just call him Captain Ibanez for right now. Okay, so there's the captain. And then we also have Sergeant. Oops. Yeah, it used to be Kriegsherr, but I think it's something more important now. I think he's like a bigger deal in the interim. Okay, and then we have Sergeant Crux, Sergeant Arnahan. Do we know her first name? Have we ever talked about Arnahan's first name? Because Arnahan is her last name. Maybe we never learned it. Do you want to know what Arnahan's first name is? No, she's not technically a noble. So she's a Crux sergeant in the sense that she works for House Crux. Yeah, or rather belongs to House Crux. She's the property of, Yancy technically. I think her first name is Daisy. I'm just gonna put in canon. I've been thinking about that for a really long time. Her first name is Daisy. Her name is Daisy Arnahan. Only my mom calls me Daisy. So that's yep, that's her name. Her name is Daisy Arnahan. Changes how you think of her, doesn't it? Okay. All right. And then do we have any other we have our Triangulum Knight. Now I named her in the last prep notes. She's still around, so let me grab her. No, Arnahan's not a noble. Arnahan's a nobody. Let's see. It's probably in. See, the thing is, I don't know if it's in the recap notes because I don't think I named her during the show. Yeah. Yeah, I think I just named her. Yeah, right. The Triangulum Knight, but I can't remember. I have all of her gear. I can't remember if we named. Yeah, I can't remember if we named her. Yeah, it hasn't come up. Yeah, she definitely has a name, right? Oh yeah, right, because she had a big, long, complicated title. But where was it? This is the trick, isn't it? She must have been in here. Let me just Triangulum. Nope, not in that note. Well, so what the hell? I know we did. Ah, there it is. Bam. Boom. Parish Dorothea Zoe. There's her name. I knew we named her. Okay, good. All right, so it's gonna be a lot to fit into one into one little box, but it's okay. We can do it. Here we go. All right, what is the normal Helvetica 12? We'll start there. No. Okay. Here, hang on. I'm gonna just put it in Notepad first. That'll help. That's why I refer to her as the triangle. Yeah. Well, we haven't really seen anything. We don't really know anything about her yet, like as a person. Jesus Christ. So much. All right, I'm just gonna put Triangulum Parish Dorothea Zoe. There we go. We'll just do that. Just for the sake of not making ourselves go totally insane. Okay. There we go. Okay, so these are the core enemies. And anybody who's been watching since the beginning, I've seen some people in chat. Figure this out well before it happened. Let me see. What was that asshole's name? There he is. There's our fucking friend. Okay. Martin. I'll copy that. I want another one. There we go. Martin works for House Crux now. So he begged for his life, and he was granted a reprieve. So he may well find his way back to the group and be like, I escaped, guys. I broke out of jail. I'm back. We're friends, right? Right? Okay. All right. So that's good. And then what friends do they have? They have, let me see here. I'm getting my notes. That's right. Red means heroes of the empire. Blue means evil synths. Okay, here we go. So we got Captain Alan Zabolski, who is, I think, so the captain is actually neutral. So there's the captain. He's nominally somebody's serf, but he bailed pretty much. He is a man on the run in the sense that he disappeared and probably faked his own death, and whatever noble owns him is like, well, okay, sure, we don't really care. So Alan, I'm gonna actually put it here. I'm gonna do it this way. Alan Zabolski, captain of the neck, because that's the short way to say the protect you neck. Okay. And then he's neutral, but then Leanne Ruck, engineer of the neck, is actually the real contact. She's the real friend. So she's an ally. She's a member of, we'll talk a bit more about her, but she's a member of Seraph, and a former like enemy of the High Church, etc. So she's on the run as well. They're both fugitives, but she's like a religious fugitive. Yeah, right. Good at hiding her knowledge. Exactly. She didn't last this long by trusting just about anybody that walked through the door. Okay, so there's Leanne. Leanne is a friend. They also have Hadil, who is a cool murder bot, and she is definitely a friend of the group. And then Christine, total fucking liability. There you go. That's right. Yeah, Leanne Ruck is a nun on the run. She had a bad habit, and then so you. Okay. All right. So listen, you made the joke, and then I just finished the job. Okay. And then Oliver will likely never show up again unless they got him. There's a bunch of other characters that might come up, but the players would have to basically like go after them. I'm not super interested in bringing them back. So Hadil, I'm going to connect directly to Jasna. Right? Like the group is all connected together, obviously, right? Because they're all whatever. You know, I don't really need to do that. We know. So they're all buds. They're all connected together. And I'm going to connect Hadil to Jasna directly. Leanne, I don't think is connected to anyone particularly yet. I'm going to use lines to indicate like personal connections. Rather than, here, that one should be, I think this one is probably even, right? Probably pointed in both directions. Whoops. I secretly kind of ship Hadil and Jasna. Like I kind of want them to fall in love. I think it would be great. That's kind of what I want. I'm just saying, secretly in my heart. I don't think Hadil thinks of Jasna that way yet. But that I think eventually that it might be possible. It might be possible. Okay. All right. So obviously Leanne and Captain Zabolski have a mutual relationship. Christine, this relationship goes the other way. Ramp. There we go. And then the captain commands the sergeant. The triangle is nominally commanded by the captain as well. I don't know why it always does the weirdest possible lines, but that's okay. You know what? That's fine. Let's try that. Okay. And then Martin serves Yancy as well. What a good villain. Look, he's in charge of everybody. Okay. Cool. All right. So now that we got that squared away, let me give them a little bit more room. I don't think any of the characters are particularly like, we haven't had any scenes where like the characters are all kind of like evenly connected to each other, but I'll add lines between the characters, I think, as they develop stuff that's not more than just I'm a PC and you're also a PC and that's cool for us. Yeah, okay. So these are the characters that matter, right? These are on-screen characters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add Leanne's contact. So this is going to be whoever, I'm going to just use an Apocalypse World term, the hard holder, right? So we don't know who this person is, but they're Leanne's boss. And she like this is a Seraph person, right? This is somebody important at Seraph. I think they're going to Cabina. Oh, I forgot Bugs. Oh my God, I totally forgot Bugs. Okay, so Bugs is neutral and doesn't really know Leanne, but Bugs works for the captain. And what we don't know yet is that Bugs is actually a plural entity. Bugs is a mated Cabin. So there's actually two consciousnesses in that big weird suit. The Cabin are very strange, and Bugs is the one that works on the ship. I'm not sure what, I guess programmer, computerologist, software expert. Something like that. A Piani? Yeah, I think I'm gonna take them to Cabina. I think Cabina is a smarter move, rather than have them go to Shan for now. It'll be very close. Yeah, computerologist. When did I miss the alien? Cabin was, or Bugs was the big, everybody thought it was a robot. Everybody thought that they were a robot, but they're not. They're a alien from Cabina. Yeah, everybody. I mean, people in chat, folks in the server pretty much figured it right away. Yes, a filthy alien, exactly. So now the ship is just full of subhumans. Okay, all right. And I should flip this. There we go. Yeah, the arrows show authority. Or like, I guess it's like top bottom in the relationships. So Yancy is the top. These three are the bottoms. Christine is the bottom in this relationship. They're even. Okay, yeah. So I think that's the idea, is that we show movement. And no, the hard holder is the one who is like responsible for the PCs coming here in the first place, right? Christine was programmed to be a bottom, yes, but she also tops from the bottom in the sense that she's like super manipulative. I'm maybe more than any other relationship, this is the one that interests me the most on a personal level, not at a level of like it's important to the show, but I love scenes between Christine and Johnny because they're both caught in a fucked up loop where Johnny is programmed to be deferential and like take care of people who are in need and give them the things, like detect and give them the things that they need. And Christine, we don't know her full backstory yet, but Christine was basically programmed. Christine has a lot in common with, and actually I should do this. Christine has a lot in common with Vasca's sister, who, what was her name again? Landra Vasca. Bothers me that Landra only has one L. Okay. And I think I'm gonna make this line both because I think they're both fucking with each other. Yeah. I'm gonna call her Laundry now. Yeah, so that's kind of where they're at. So she's a friend, obviously, to the party, but she's in need. Okay, all right. So now we have our relationship map kind of laid out. I need to detail because they're gonna probably meet the hard holder, and we don't know where Landra is. So what's great about that question, what's great about figuring out where is laundry, is that I don't actually need the answer to that yet. Because right now, part of this thing is where is my sister? Where is she? Right? So I'm going to just put for who, see the relationship map. Right. What? I guess like the trip from Yakia to Cabina and introduction to that world and what's happening there. When is this taking place? I guess this is still like the second month of the first year of the reign of Emperor. Oh my god, I'm so bad. I can never remember her name. I'm just gonna look up the Emperor. Oh no, that's Padma. That's not the one. It's Rona, right? But what's her full name? The Eternal Rose. Ah, there it is. Solanum. That was the one I was looking for. Okay. Emperor Pixis Solanum Rona. That's right. Okay. Okay. 3201 sector standard. Yeah. Okay. All right. Why? Get to somewhere safe long enough to investigate the location of Sister Vasca. Okay. And then how? Okay. All right. So let's detail the motivations. This is all just like starting paperwork, really, before I can kind of prep. Yeah. So T-Rex Ely mentioned in chat, after the UPC died, the Friends of Yakia became part of Seraph, so it's perfect. Yeah, just runs right into that. Yeah, and I've been thinking about using Seraph as kind of like the backing faction, and we'll take a minute as part of this. Don't let me forget, before we move on to Court of Swords, don't let me forget that I want to look over the favor economy stuff and see how I can incorporate that better, because I've been meaning to do that for a while. So, okay, Autumn, Johnny, I mean, my ultimate goal, hang on a second, my ultimate goal here is going to be, I need to just pull up another spreadsheet, for Verona faction tracker. Here we go. So ultimately what I would like is to be able to change this relationship, or like add another column of like points, right? So obviously there are many factions for whom you'll never gain influence points or whatever, but I'd love to have a way to track basically rep with each of the factions, and the kinds of like as the players do stuff, I want them to be able to build up notoriety and reputation within certain factions, and then let the factions like basically spend to do things. So we'll figure it out. Let me take a look. I'm gonna go back to what we'll come back to that. That's not what I'm working on right now. Right now, what I need to do is figure out what everybody's motivations are, so that I can kind of think about intersecting them with some scenes as we go. There's a lot to do. Okay, all right. So what I need is their character sheets, right? So Autumn is safety, desire, fear, strength, and flaw are the four tracks. Desire, fear, what was it? Desire, fear, strength, and flaw. Yeah. There's some notes at the beginning of the big doc too. Let me see. This is all the stuff that happens. Yeah, I think this was mostly commentary from the episode. Right now I just need the names. Yeah. Okay. All right. So safety, isolation, idealistic, recklessness. Let me keep that open because I know I'm going to forget. Safety, isolation, idealistic, and recklessness. So my job as the game master of this game is to offer Autumn safety at a cost, threaten to isolate her, give her opportunities to be idealistic and not pragmatic, and to tempt her recklessness. That's how you GM for Autumn Vasca, right? Do those 4 things, because my job is to offer up those opportunities and then see if she takes them in exchange for experience, right? Like, it might not be the smartest thing to do to choose safety over risk or whatever, and then it's on Mark to find opportunities to pit these against each other, right? To see what comes out on top. Is she more reckless than her desire for safety? Is she more afraid of isolation than she is idealistic? Like, you gotta help your players do those things. So let's figure out for Johnny. And one thing that I find helpful with this kind of thing is just come up with some scenes, like some little vignettes for each thing, and drop them in with various characters. And I'll do this. We'll go through we'll kind of brainstorm these as we go through in a second. I want to write them all down. All right, so Johnny boy. Oh my God, that's amazing. Johnny. So Elspeth wrote hers down a little bit like broader. I'm gonna need to smush them down. So let me desire, fear, strength, and I'm gonna just copy these, right? Because there's no point in doing this a bunch of times. There we go. Got it. Okay. All right. So Johnny desires empathy, right? To be understood. Fears abandonment. Strength is insight. And flaw is unreliable. Ooh, yeah. I kind of love this one. Like, oh God, like in a moment. And I think this is one of those things where, like, for me, this jumps out as the most immediate one where I'm like, all right, Johnny, it's all on you. Elsbeth, if you want that unreliable experience, describe a way that your character fails to show up. Right? Like, show me how Johnny fails the party because of who they are, right? And then Elsbeth could be like, you know what? I think I get my shit together and I do it. Or she can be like, oh, I love experience. I'm gonna take it. Okay, and then Haley. I think I kind of remember Haley's, but let's double check. She's gonna murder you. Haley, it's ambition, obscurity, adaptable, hubris. Ambition, obscurity, adaptable, and hubris. I feel like all 8-year-olds have hubris as their main flaw. Greek heroes and 8-year-olds. Okay, so Haley is ambitious. Fears obscurity, which is a great flaw when your existence is illegal. Is adaptable, and is too proud. Too proud. And just assumes they're great. Assumes they're just gonna win everything because that's how they were programmed. And then Jasna. Justice, failure, adaptable, deception. Justice, failure, adaptable, deception. Justice, failure, adaptable, deception. Okay. So I want to tempt Autumn with safety. And I guess I can write these down, right? So tempt. I like that I make weird duck game noises when I confuse myself. Okay. So tempt Autumn. Tempt Autumn with offers of safety at a cost to others she cares about. Right? So be like, you can be safe, but your allies will suffer. Like, that's easy, right? A gunfire breaks out. You see ahead of you, and fucking Mark did a great job pitting recklessness and safety. Because if I say you're in a position where you can help your allies, but you have to run through a hallway full of laser fire to get to a switch. If you pull that switch, it'll shut the door, cutting off the Crux troops from you, but you have to put yourself in danger. She gets experience either way because she can be like, nope, I'm too scared. I crouch down and I let Jasna handle it. Boom, 5 XP, right? Failure to help your friends because of your safety. Or she can be like, I'm fragile and I shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to run over to the switch anyway because I'm reckless. Boom, 5 experience. And that is how you make a character that's fun to have in a game, right? This is classic instinct and belief competition in Burning Wheel, or belief. It's fantastic. It's how you power game. It's how you power game a narrative system. It's fucking smart, right? So tempt Autumn with offers of safety to cost to others she cares about. Threaten to isolate her. How can we threaten Autumn with isolation? She's going into a place full of synths, right? Okay, so threaten nobility, right? She's a noble and nobody else is. Human, right? Noble, human. I think those two are her big axes, right? To kind of nail her on, to be like, oh no, we can't trust her. Get out. Like, you three, come in. Autumn, I don't know, go wait in the ship, right? Like, people need to cut her out because of who she is. Yeah, right. Noble, human, and MES, right? Because unless you're on like a Serpent's primary or Lyra primary planet, probably most people still see MES as being like weird and isolating. Yeah. And especially if you're around a bunch of synths, you're a mind-reading human. Also, everyone just assumes you have MES, you can read their mind. People are pretty ignorant about what MES does and is, and so people like, I definitely feel like there's some like fear and distrust. Yeah. Okay, threaten to isolate her from others. Important moments. Give her a cause to believe in, despite it being like dangerous or foolish. And then offer moments of danger for her to jump into recklessly. Right? Let her make those mistakes. Okay. All right. So that's Autumn. This is how I GM. That's how I GM for Autumn, right? This is what we do. Now, these things, remember, as I said, these motivations are, they're not the primary stuff of the game, right? They're secondary. They're XP triggers. The players are just as required to sort of push for them, but this is a way for me to make the game feel like it's tailored to them. They're basically like a much better version of bonds, flaws, and ideals from 5e D&D, right? Yeah. And I think you're right. Like Zendivia pointed this out, and we saw it a couple more times. Decidophobia saw it in chat. Like, she needs to take medication. So threaten that. Be like, where are you getting your meds from? Because you can't have that many on you. I didn't want to bring it up during the first arc because that was all like run, gun, shoot, blow up, etc. This, now they have time, and now she has to go ask someone for help, right? Or dangerously reach out. Yeah. Okay, so with Johnny, we talked a little bit about this. So with Johnny, give Johnny people who understand, care about him at a cost, right? So like maybe they're unsafe, unpredictable, bad news folks, right? So the people that care about Johnny should avoid. So you have to make them make that hard decision to be like, but you understand me, right? Like that's, and then be like, yeah, but you shouldn't trust this person. Okay, cool. And then threaten abandonment. you're a liability. You're not really a synth. Right? Like we don't need you. Get out of here. Go back to the junk pile, man. Who the fuck is this? Why'd you bring me a toaster? This isn't the fucking toaster security bureau. Throw that piece of junk out and let's get on with the mission, right? People that just treat Johnny like trash, right? Threatening to abandon them and alienate them and not treat them as less than human, right? It's also an opportunity to show that there are tiers of, it's not even like racism, but like there's a hierarchy of bad behavior, and there are synths who are like, we don't trust or like you because we're better. We're a better model than you are. Yeah, bigotry, tiers of bigotry. Okay, threaten abandonment, and have people threaten abandonment, but offer opportunities for human connection, right? Have people, like, I have to let people trust in Johnny too, because that lets us see their strength, right? Give Johnny opportunities to be insightful. Oh, hell yeah. Thanks, Cloud. I can't read your entire text from where I am, but I'm gonna. Give me a second here. Just opening Streamlabs. Thank you, by the way. Oh my God, you have the flu. Don't die. Thank you, Cloud. Please don't die of the flu. I appreciate your donation. Welcome. Come hang out. I hope GM Prep makes you feel better. Okay, but offer opportunity for human connection and insight. And I think what I want to do here is I can temper this insight where, like, Johnny can say something insightful and it can be really helpful for someone, right? They can be like, wow, Johnny, I never thought of it that way, but still treat Johnny like an object, right? Like, thanks, buddy, see you later. And then just walk out in the middle of a conversation, right? Like, have people treat Johnny like a machine and have that tempered against the insight, right? So people still see Johnny as being less than, which is, yeah, like a Magic 8 Ball, exactly, or a Liza or something. Like, you're not, like, have people openly be like, it's interesting how Johnny thinks that he's like a person, right? Like, look, it's so interesting the way these old toasters, like, they could almost perfectly emulate human behavior. Have people talk about Johnny like he's not in the room. Be like, wow, you're so eloquent for a Vista. Right? So force Johnny to prove their humanity, which is rough, right? Like, and this is the thing, is like, take the expected and twist it. If Johnny is like, everybody here, they're going to understand, right? They care about synths. And then Johnny's going to show up and they're going to be like, synths, hug, toaster. What are you doing here? You're not even a person, right? Treat Johnny the way people treat C-3PO, right? Especially Luke in the first Star Wars. And then have moments, have pivotal moments, rely on Johnny so that Elspeth, there we go, can choose to fail for XP. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So that's how we fuck with Johnny, right? So for Haley, and I'm making these notes now because I'm going to be using them throughout this arc. This isn't just for this season. So yeah, take the professor in the back and plug him into the hyperdrive. Treat Johnny kind of like a virtual assistant, right? Like, have people ask Johnny stuff they could figure out themselves. Johnny, what time is it? Like, he's clearly wearing a watch. Okay. All right. So Haley, I think for Haley is like, give Haley a chance to be famous, right? Then threaten that fame. Balance fame against safety, right? Offering up opportunities to build a personal legend but also the wrong people find out. Like, go full in on her being a kind of leader or a symbolic figure for the resistance, but whatever we want to call them, for the group. Where people are like, no, Haley can work for us. Like, she's a child, like make her the face of the rebellion. Yeah. And then have that be like, yeah, mascot or whatever. Yeah, exactly. And then also like tempt her with infamy, right? If she can't be famous, maybe she can be feared, right? And then give her a chance to do the unexpected, putting her in hard situations with no clear way out, no clear single way out, right? That lets her be adaptable. And then just offer up like cultists, basically. Offer up a chance to think highly of herself. Also, introduce a second Haley model for competition. Right? Oh, cool. Another Haley. She will just fucking get so mad. Like if I'm like, oh, cool. We have another one. Haley, you can have a sister, and then have another Haley just be like, hello. And like just be a better, nicer, more well-liked version. Yeah. A kind of nicer, easier to love, seemingly naive version everyone already thinks is great. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, she's just like a slightly better version of you. Are you going to murder her? Well, and that's the question, Killian, right? Like we'll let it kind of like spool out a little bit so that we can figure out if this Haley is a nice, innocent version of our Haley, or if we find out that this other Haley is just as, if not more, murderous and wicked, right? Where it's like our Haley figures out a plan to get rid of this other Haley, goes to set it off, and then the other Haley is just like sitting in the big chair like, I was wondering when you'd show up. Stab, right? Like, I've turned all your friends against me, or against you. Yeah. So like, this will be an opportunity to find out if she's actually like super evil, or if it works better for our purposes, just have her be like innocent and nice and force Haley to murder her because of her own hubris and fear of obscurity, right? Like, you thought there was only one of you, but you're actually the Olsen twins. Yep. So that should be fun. Okay, cool. And then Jasna. So for Jasna to kind of like trigger Jasna's stuff, show Jasna examples of clear injustice as well as questionable justice for her to weigh in on. Make every failure hurt as much as possible personally for Jasna. Hold her accountable. It's quite low. I'm going to roll this down. Hold her accountable for everyone else's failures. Right? Because she doesn't want that. Failure sucks real bad for Jasna. So being responsible for everyone else's failures will create tension between her and the other characters. Give her a chance to show her quality in unexpected situations. Give her the truth, but force her to lie about it. Show her unpleasant truths. Right? Yeah. Now we could very easily make another relationship map and show the way everybody's stuff interacts, which I think might be worth doing in the future, right? As we get deeper into the characterization stuff. Like if the players like me prodding at their motivations, then we're good. But and I can go into that. But if they're kind of like, this is like a fine side thing, then I'll keep it kind of off to the side. But yeah, the idea of like what where the characters interact through these things. Now, I've done this before. If you watched me GM, if I watched me do any of my GM prep for the first season of Burning Wheel, that's something that I did where I wrote down everybody's beliefs, and then I intersected the beliefs. And we're going to do an Apocalypse World thing. We're going to try to create PC, NPC, PC triangles, right? So we're gonna look for NPCs that I can place in between the characters, like Haley 2 or whatever we end up calling her. Haley 2 is gonna end up looking for help with like Johnny, right? Like Haley 2, if Haley 2 realizes there's tension between Haley and herself, she's gonna go to Johnny and be like, Johnny, I really want Haley to be my friend. What can you tell me about her? Right? Like, we're going to have these little intersections. Cool. Okay. All right. So, and also I forgot, for Jasna, force Jasna to confront her past. See if she's honest with others about it. Because Jasna used to be a crux, like a synth hunter, right? Yeah. So like someone knows, right? Someone knows. Okay. All right. So now I'm thinking about alignment. Neutral good. Lawful good. Maybe chaotic good. Lawful good for now. Chaotic neutral. Lawful neutral. Okay. All right. So, oh my God, that'd be fucking sick. I'm gonna make a note. We could do an arc of this. Oh shit, that'd be fucking fun. Yeah. Because someone in the base knows about Jasna's past, and they hold trial. They're like, Jasna Solari, you stand accused of, murdering your people, like siding with the humans against other synths. The penalty for this treasonous behavior is death. And I think that there's some interesting, like, draw parallels between Jasna and Martin, right? Like, Martin made a choice to turn tail and become part of the House Crux, right? There is also mechanisms in Genesis, in the game system, to allow us to do like a duel of wits. I love the idea of having at some point the trial of Jasna Solari. I think that'll be a really fun like arc or sub arc. We could do that in a couple of episodes where they're like, we can't trust you. It's come to our attention that you have a dark past. And then they could go to whoever they trust most in the group. And this'll put a real interesting parallel with Martin, and then also how Hadil reacts to this, right? So yeah. So we got to hold that because we got to get to know Jasna a little better. But yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what I need is, I guess, to figure out like what happens in this next bit, because they got to get, my normal inclination is to be like, you get attacked by pirates on the way because it's fun, right? And I want to do space bullshit, but I kind of don't right now. So they're on. Yeah, if you're a fan of Battlestar Galactica, season 2 of Far Verona will fit like right into what you like, I think. Okay, so they're in the Satso system. They got away. I'm not gonna hold them back. They're going to travel to Halesko and then to Benili. And I don't really feel like now is the time to introduce a delay, because they're not in any real hurry to get there. So I think we'll just say that happens, right? So maybe they pick. I don't want to slow them down. Yeah. And we've been to the planet formerly known as Berkman. So like, if this were a new planet, I might say, oh, they stop here to like check things out or whatever. Like there's a little bit of, but I think I just want to gloss over it. It'd be the same as if they were like, we're going to go by Honglu. I'd be like, we don't really need Honglu right now. I want to see more stuff. Yeah. Pacing, right? I want to get them right to the next thing. So I think we're just going to go straight to the secret base on Cabina. So Cabina is a planet that has friendly foe tag, right? Hostile alien race. The Cabin, they live here. There aren't that many of them, but they fucking hate humans. They get along with Seraph. But they don't like most humans. They are very definitely not into them. So we'll take a look at Cabina as a planet in the wiki. But not for right this second. So let's go back to the sector and see. Okay, so friendly foe. If we want to do some stuff, if they're interested in alien stuff, we can tap into this. The planet is still a theocracy, right? It's ruled by the predominant religion. Technically, the religion is, I believe, illegal, but it's so far from the core of the empire in terms of like interest that they're able to maintain this. It's a strong theocracy, right? There are a lot of repentant people that live here. So we'll have that be a thing. And I think probably there isn't too much like chaos to throw around here. I think that stuff is all like kind of fine. So let's talk about, I'm going to make a note of the planet. Let's go to the where. Oops. Let's go to the where section here. So I didn't put a where. Okay. Well, let's talk about that then. So Cabina, things that are important. So things that matter to me, an unusually safe place for people on the run from the Empire. Ruled by, well, let's take a look. I'm gonna actually make a note here of the biosphere stuff so I can know how to describe it. So it's breathable, cold to temperate, biosphere remnants, and several million inhabitants. So not a lot of people. It's a small planet. Okay. All right. So breathable atmosphere. Whoop. Cold to temperate. Like pretty decent place to live. Okay. All right. It's a Swedish town. Okay. All right. Breathable atmo, cold to temperate, unusually safe place. Lots of religious culture influenced by the repentant faith. Cabin live here, or what's left of them. Small planet. Not densely populated. I don't know. Is Cabin like a moon of a gas giant or something? Let me look. Let me actually look at Cabina. Third planet. Okay, so it's a planet. Remaining planets are lifeless rocks or gas giants. Yada yada yada. Has no moons. Only artificial surface. Okay, cool. Right. Okay. Ecosystem collapse during. Okay, so it's a post-war. Not densely populated. Recovering from bombardment. Think France, London post World War II, right? So like there's still evidence of like the war, the Civil War and all the damage there. And then bombardment. Okay, cool. So I'm not super interested in the history right now. So the church, the technical church, collapsed internally, and there's a bunch of like companies and okay, all right, that kind of like run the thing, and then Seraph, major power broker and conglomerate. Okay, Okay, cool. Several power groups, but Seraph is the main conglomerate holding power here. Good. Okay, cool. And then we talked a little bit about that. Right, biosphere destruction and restoration. So it's biosphere, and biosphere is like the flora and fauna that live there, right? So the system, the planet is, here we go, dioxin poisoning. There we go. So the bombardment, dioxins are found in highly, okay, so the planet itself is, recovering from war. Yeah. Okay. So I guess like look at like post-war torn countries and kind of what they are like. So there are probably a lot of people who are still, I mean, I guess when did that happen? How deep into it are we? Let me see. Because the Civil War ended, I'm just trying to see how much they've rebuilt. 2955. Okay, so a while. They've had some time. And this was the Blood Eagle. Yeah, it got bombed during Blood Eagle time. Yeah. This shit is so good, by the way. I love it. Like I will like wander around in the wiki. Like this is some very good shit. I've seen this article before. I saw some of the stuff as it was being built, but like it's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm very into it. Okay, all right. So I think for right now, that's kind of what I need to know about Cabina. I guess we just need to pick a place for them to land. Yeah, habitation and settlement. So it's not going to be Lux Gravare. I think it's going to be somewhere further out. Maybe Godolpho? Mugenjishi. Oh, Mugenjishi might be good. Let me look. So second largest city, 1,000 miles north, past the border, well into the northern polar ice cap, built in a valley, carved out of ice by the bombardment. Mugenjishi is dominated by temples and churches. Many of the more spiritual and esoteric sects. Interesting. Oh, so it's like a monastery. That might be fun. That might be kind of cool. Yeah, that might be good. Yeah, I could kind of see that being Mugenjishi being like a good place. Pilgrim's Gate is a small town on the edge of the equatorial region, serving purposes of pilgrims taken to Mugenjishi by land. Ah, right, because you can't land at Mugenjishi, which means that it's kind of cut off. I like it. Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. Okay, cool. Let's do that. Let's have them land at Pilgrim's Gate. Jumping off point for the trek, the like, I don't know, it's a pilgrimage, I guess. Mugenjishi, an isolated polar monastery / city. Let's learn more about this Mugenjishi situation. Okay. Pilgrim's Gate. Oh my God, Pilgrim's Gate looks so cool. Yes, that's awesome. Cool. Okay. So several people and companies offering shuttles. I mean, I think Pilgrim's Gate, I'm getting a very like Tibet vibe, right? Like Pilgrim's Gate is like the last place you land before you climb Mount Everest, you know? So I think that's probably a month of travel across hundreds of miles of glacier. So maybe the base isn't in Mugenjishi, but oh, that's cool. Okay, so I have an idea. The Hardholder. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, an isolated polar monastery. This is where the PC's new temporary home base will be. And then I think, but the leadership of the cell is hiding out in Mugenjishi because it's so isolated. Yeah. Okay, cool. So they're gonna land and stay in Pilgrim's Gate for now. And if they ever need to meet face to face with the leadership, with the heart holder, they have to go to Mugenjishi. Because basically, I don't want to be like, you land, cool. Now let's do a month of travel, like walking across the ice. I think they get missives, they get information transmitted from Mugenjishi to Pilgrim's Gate, and Pilgrim's Gate is a point where they can like receive shipments, they can receive people, and then Pilgrim's Gate is a place where they can send people out. Yeah, I like it. The other part of the reason that I'm choosing Pilgrim's Gate is because there's lots of room for us to build, right? There's only a couple of paragraphs about it. It's connected to bigger stuff, and it allows us to do some stuff. Now, I will also say, just as like a fun little like aside, and anybody who watched the last episode, so Mugenjishi does have a House Reticulum presence, and the characters did technically just steal a Reticulum weapon. I think this will also be a fun opportunity for us to show off like a Valen like refugee, right? Someone who survived, like a Valen scholar. And I think there are probably a handful of them living at Mugenjishi as well. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So that gives us lots of little fun things. Pilgrim's Gate is going to be the campaign base for right now. And then we'll go from there. And I think it's fun because there are lots of people coming and going, right? People show up at Pilgrim's Gate all the time. People leave. It's bustling, but not in like a metropolis way. Yeah. So I think that's something that'll be fun. It'll let me bring in lots of like individuals. So, okay, so we know a little bit about that. We're going to land at Pilgrim's Gate. That's where the ship is going. And this is some info about Cabina. Okay, good. All right. So all of this is like going to take up maybe the first like fucking 10 minutes of the session, right? Where I can be like, here is what happens. You're on the ship. Does anybody have a scene on the ship? I guess let's figure out how long it takes. So it is a ship capable of a 2-hex it's 2 jumps. So it should take what, 12 days to get from Satsos to Halesko, and then from Halesko to Benili, right? Or is each hex, it's 6 days divided by 2 because it's a rank 2 drive. So yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, okay, so it'll take 12 days. 12 days to get there. I want to have a scene. I need to have a little scene here. So let me try to remember to do this. A scene with the captain apologizing that the trip is going to take longer than the standard 12 days. Because the maps are all fucked up and he and Bugs need to basically like chart a secondary path, right? Because this is me showing, because part of my agenda, right? Part of my agenda as the GM for this game, part of my agenda is to show the effects of the faction turn in the game. That's part of my job. So this is an opportunity for me to just to be like, all right, everybody. So, we were supposed to make landfall at Pilgrim's Gate in 12 days. Looks like it's going to take us a little longer. What would an appropriate delay be? What, like another extra day for each hex? Right? So like 4, 8, 12, another 4 days, and 16 days instead. I think that probably makes sense. Okay, so 16 days instead, because the maps are all fucked up and him and Bugs need to chart a new path. Okay, great. We can also have a scene with the engineer. What was his name? Rucka or Ruck? Let me look. Yeah. Leanne Ruck. Explaining the planet, the situation, etc. Okay, so she basically sits them down and is like, okay, so here's what's happening. So the funny thing, Bugs is a cute alien name, but it's also super racist. Because the Cabin kind of look insectile. It's definitely not the name that this Cabin calls themselves. It is a racist nickname, and that's just because even the best humans have been indoctrinated into a hundreds of years long, like, program of being shitty to non-humans. Like, it's just how this culture works. And so, like, while they probably don't even realize it, they're probably just like, yeah, it's Bugs. I don't know. I can't learn. Like, its actual name is a bunch of clicks and hums and stuff. I can't say that. Like, come on. I'm just going to call you Bugs. That's your name. This is a real thing that humans do to each other, where they're like, your name is too ethnic for me to pronounce. I'm just going to call you Sarah. Okay? Here's your desk, Sarah. See you at lunch. So, yeah, I don't know if Bugs realizes or knows or cares. But it is. It's like it's a cultural insensitivity thing. Is why they call this person, this insectoid alien, Bugs. Yeah. So, okay. So a scene with the engineer and someone in the party, and then basically like maybe one or two in transit vignettes between a PC and a PC, or a PC and PC triangle. Let the players dictate these. And I told them during the post show of the last episode, I was like, hey, think about what you want, right? Think about these things. I'm going to ask you if there's more stuff. Should they pick up somebody at Nivette? Should we pick up somebody like a Trill person or something? The thing about Berkman is that it's irrelevant to this season. So showing it would be confusing, right? But if we pick up a person, then that's maybe worthwhile. Like another person who's on their way to Pilgrim, like an actual, like somebody else who's part of the conspiracy, right? They stop at Berkman and pick up, Berkman. They pick up someone from Nivette. Yeah. And it's full of like religious people and stuff. So yeah, right. Exactly. Okay. So let's do that. Again, getting interrupted by pirates, having a stowaway, all of that stuff is just kind of, I don't know. Oh, you know what we should do? They should pick up somebody who knows or like is connected to what's her face, that criminal that escaped. Yeah. Cause she was in to show them that happened in between seasons. Yeah. What the fuck was her name? Karsten or whatever. Yeah. Somebody, Alexander Karsten. Yeah. Someone involved in, what was that called? The honey heist or whatever they called it. This is a whole thing. Yeah, let's see here. So Karsten. Yeah, it was honey heist. That was right. Okay. All right, let's see. Now these are people's characters. This was a whole thing. A bunch of different players. A bunch of different players got together, and like faction players got together, and these are NPCs. Okay, a bunch of faction players got together and did a little like game that they played to bust her out of Factions in the Dark. Yeah, UPC 14 Red Dogs on House Crux played it, and they have it on Twitch and everything. Yeah, it's cool, hey? So it was a little side mission, and they played this thing called Factions in the Dark. It was great. You should definitely check it out. Okay, so maybe let's see. Did anybody survive? Who can we pick up here? Construction of Gats. Yeah. Became part of the Ukrainian Defense Force. Yeah, I don't know that it would be on Navette. Yeah, this is a person from... Oh, he's dead anyway. He died. Let's see. Yeah, maybe I'll have to put this in my pocket for now. Yeah, I think maybe we'll... It's cool, but I think we'll save it for... I'll save it for the future. Let's have somebody... So who else... Maybe another... Do we want them to be another synth? You know what? I'd like to have somebody who's like moderately interesting, and I need a character that fits in between two specific characters. And I suppose what I need to look at is who might be coming from Berkman. Yeah, I mean, I could look at the PIB and stuff. Who might be coming from Navette, but who is interested, like a Seraph operative. Maybe coming home. Oh, maybe that's good. Somebody who like fucked up a mission and is leaving Navette. Someone who's escaping. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. So okay, there's Cabina, there's Pilgrim's Gate. The PCs pick up a passenger on Navette, a former no, I don't want it to be someone we've like 100% seen before. I think I've done like enough of that for right now with Yancy and Arnahan. So probably a former repentant whose cell collapsed after being infiltrated by a Trilliant High Church operative. This person is fleeing to Pilgrim's Gate to be reassigned. There you go. Yeah, right. So I think that's cool. So we need a name for this person. Let me find my name generator. I always use the same one. I think it's behind the name. Yeah, it is. Okay. All right. Let's generate a cool name for this person. Ingvar. Ingvar Paul. Paul's a first name. Barney. Lavrenti. Marie Jose. Dory. Greta Nelson. Brooklyn Schnell. Brooklyn Schnell is a great name. Go faster, Brooklyn. Alicia Brooke. Sikandar. Vigdis. Vigdis is good. Schnell does mean fast, I know. I've seen World War II movies. Vigdis is good. Okay. Vigdis. Okay. And then we need a last name. I need a good last name for Vigdis. Levesque. Vigdis Sharon. Hell yeah. Vigdis Sharon. And is Vigdis traditionally a... what's the etymology? What? Vigdis. It is an Icelandic name. Ooh. Cool. Name meaning. Yeah, okay. I mean, I can't find it, but... Oh, the Icelandic... It's just because the Icelandic president, there's a former president named Vigdis. It means war goddess. It's a Norwegian name, technically. It means war goddess. That's fucking cool. Wow, so her name is War Goddess Karen, which is like bringing people across the river Styx. Holy shit. Vigdis Karen's daughter. I do not fuck with her. Jesus Christ. Okay. So just based on her name, she sounds terrifying. Okay, so let me put her on the R map here, and she is connected to Leanne as well. Okay, Vigdis Caron daughter, a repentant militant. So what's the, I guess what org would she have worked for? Is there like a what's a militant branch of the Church of Humanity? I think she's on even terms with Leanne. Yeah, I like it. Okay, cool. So Vigdis gets picked up. She gets picked up on Navette and joins the group. I need my 3 things for her. What do we know about her? Now, I think she is open and friendly. Self-sufficient and slow to trust, and something that she's like particularly good at. And we already have a murder lesbian. I can't keep throwing murder lesbians in the game. Wheat took up a slot. I have to focus my murder lesbian energy on Hadil. Open and friendly, self-sufficient and slow to trust. And I think she is the Deadbound, maybe? I'll take a look at them. I don't want her to be like honestly, I just don't want her to be like a scary military badass. I want her to work with military badasses. Oh, like they're deathless. Okay, the sector's formed as a deathless synth purge. Yeah, crisis of faith. I like it. Yeah. Okay, let's make her a former member of the Deadbound, maybe. Let's see. Because I don't want her to be tied to the Deathless at all. Like, I don't want her to be part of that. But I like that. I mean, it does kind of intersect in some nice ways. Is there but is there a way for you, if you're a member of the Deathless, can you go on like sabbatical? Oh no, she's dead. She's fucking KIA. She's a KIA, quote unquote, deadbound. Is she a human or is she a synth? I don't know or care. We'll figure it out eventually. Okay, cool. So she was like killed in action, and that let her become part of this like repentant cell on Navette, and then her cell got nuked and she had to leave. Okay. Yeah, sick. Okay, so there's Vigdis. Great. Okay. And so what does Vigdis wants? Because it's important to have what the NPCs want. Speaking of synthetic people, what is up, Starbuck? Thank you. Hi. So she wants she wants a break. To return to the fold and to reflect on the future. Yeah, I think that's the jam. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess MIA presumed dead. Yeah. She's a super cool deadbound. Okay, all right, there you go. Yeah, she definitely has PTSD and is like dealing with some shit. Yeah. So I think Vigdis will be an potentially interesting connection to Jasna, right? They have some stuff in common. Yeah. And that might go good, or it might be like she finds out and fucking hates her. There's like an interesting PC thing between the 3 of them too. Okay, all right. So that's good. That's something. We got some characters. They're gonna arrive. I mean, this is really gonna be let's talk about the base, right? The base in Pilgrim's Gate. So Pilgrim's Gate, this base, what's the like actual jumping off point if you want to climb Mount Everest? Mount Everest, where do you go? What is our real world equivalent? Because I want to do some research. Mount Everest base, like where would you go? Yeah. to climb the Himalayas? There's 2, right? Yeah, in Nepal. Here we go. 2 base camps on either side. South base camp and north base camp. One's in Nepal, one's in Tibet. Also, it's fucked up seeing this say Tibet, comma, China. Okay. All right. So I will just look up some fucking stuff. We'll look up Nepal and all that stuff. I'll do some reading. Okay. All right. So the base in Pilgrim's Gate, and I should put this, if we're doing structure, I should do this because that's from furthest to closest. So the base in Pilgrim's Gate is the front. So it's like a front as a shipping concern that, because they basically like they have to pretend to be something else. A shipping concern that brings in climbing gear. That's so small though. I want it to be something like something that allows them to have lots of vehicles coming in. And yeah, we'll look at what else is on the planet, but yeah, like supplies food. Oh, that's a good idea. Front business, supplier of food and medicine to smaller communities, smaller religious communities. Now, does the fucking tundra have a name? We have to name the tundra. Let me see. Where's my wiki here? Cabina. Yeah, they don't own the base camp, but they like supply communities that live. Also, this is fucking awesome. There's a rotating map of the planet. Damn, wiki. Let me see if there is a name for that northern like tundra. Like they'd probably just call it the like Muganjishi expanse or whatever, Muganjishi tundra, but small town, the pilgrimage, hundreds of miles of glacier. Okay, so like across the something glacier. Yeah. We need something that is reminiscent of like Tibet or Nepal or like Everest or whatever, but we could also go like what would they call it? It's got to be reminiscent, but not like a direct one-to-one because we have no connection to Earth. It would be whoever first explored it, right? So it would probably have an imperial name. There'd be a Cabin name for it, but they wouldn't call it that. What language is Nepalese like a language? What languages they speak in Tibet? Because I could just name it a word in Tibetan. They probably speak Chinese in Nepal. They probably speak like Mandarin. Oh yeah, Nepali is a word. Nepal or as a language. Nepali, Maithili, Bhojpuri. Oh, Nepali is similar to Hindi. Okay. Indo-Aryan languages. Okay, interesting. Okay, so let me. Yeah, right. Like I want it to be called like like it'd be called something like Admondson's Expanse or something. But let me see in. Let's look up like glacier and stuff in Nepali. How do you say glacier in Nepali? There's so many cool glacier names. Hartaj. Like Khumbu Glacier is a real one, and it's just telling me like real. I don't want real world facts, Google. I don't want real world facts. I want. I wonder what the Sanskrit word is. Sanskrit. Translate. Let's see here. This might be good. I don't want it to be named after. Yeah, I'll put two. We'll come up with two names, like what the locals call it, and then the imperial name. Because it was probably explored by a Valen explorer. So actually, a Hindi name or a name like that sound like it'll fit. Yeah. Okay. So give me a second here. I'm gonna find a name. Glacier. Is there a Sanskrit word for glacier? Himasa Mati. So the Himasa Glacier, that might be good. Yeah, Himanadi. Okay. And then what? I mean, this planet's been around too long for it to be a Pixis explorer. And then I guess I just want to like here, let me go back to my name generator because I can change the settings. So let's go. Oh, Patil, that's a good one. That's a fairly common name. But is Patil a first? I just want last names. I don't want any first names at all. I guess it's in that, oh my God, generate life story. I guess it's in that, it's in the order, right? Yeah, Patel is a last name. So let's just call it, and then I need a Valen title. Okay. And it's somebody who maybe just like a regular noble. Those who guide. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, maybe. Like this is all like officers, long form titles. Like, yeah, everybody here seems so fancy and important, but they're really not, right? Like this person didn't explore a new planet. They didn't like teach navigation. They're just a person who came here and like mapped out a glacier. So maybe we'll just call it Patel Glacier. We'll call it Lord Patel Glacier. There we go. Small religious communities on the Himasa Glacier, and that's what they pretend to do, right? They bring in supplies, and then they send these out into the into the glacier to these like smaller communities that maybe are like water miners or something like that. Yeah, okay. So that's the front business. So there are a handful. So they own an office and a handful of warehouses in the port at Pilgrim's Gate. Pay protection fees to, let's see what's on Cabina right now. Who would they? I know there's some Imperial stuff on Cabina, like the governor's office, right? To look the other way. I want to do this by planet. Here we go. Okay. All right. Okay. So, all right. We got Cabina. Here we go. What's on Cabina right now? An Eridanis party machine, a Triangulum shipping combine, and then a bunch of Seraph stuff. Perfect. Okay. So they're paying Eridanis and Triangulum. Okay. So pay protection fees to Eridanis and Triangulum. And I think probably pay fees to Eridanis and Triangulum to maintain the business supported by Seraph. Okay. All right. So the base, it's not a forward base, not a military base. It's a place for people, for synths and others who need it to hide out, and as a secondary communication platform for HQ up at Mugen Jishi. Right? Like this is where these things. Okay. All right. So it's like a secondary, like if this gets blown, then it doesn't risk the real folks up at the council up at Mugen Jishi. Right? Yeah. Okay. So probably like only a dozen or so refugees, I guess we'll call them needy, at the base at any given time, meant to be temporary, not permanent. So I guess if you came to the base at Pilgrim's Gate and you hooked up with Seraph, they would feed you and hide you, and they'd let you access their resources. So probably they will meet like a couple other people, have background characters kind of come and go. I don't need to detail a dozen people right away. I think that's kind of where we're going to go. Okay. All right. So they go there, they're going to meet people, and I guess it's like, what now, right? Like that's the question. So Seraph gives them a safe place to hide and to pursue their own goals. Mugen Jishi has a higher order base. It's working on the Verona Enigma, which we haven't really talked about, and I won't right now. That's their priority. And this is a place where they can hide out and like pursue their own goals. The cell at Pilgrim's Gate expects nothing from the PCs unless they endanger the cell or abuse their goodwill. Though they're happy to get help if the PCs offer. They have people who need help, etc. Right? Like there's opportunities if they wanna push on it. If they're like, we don't know what to do, but they will. Okay, so I guess the thing is, the idea is to put them here and then let them do their own thing, but have some background stuff to keep like the action going. You can see I'm nervous about just being like, all right, you arrive at the base, what are you gonna do? Because then it's on them. They have to reach out, and I suppose what now? So who knows where? Because we talked about Landru being a thing, right? So who knows where Landru is? She was put into safekeeping by the UPC, I think originally, by the UPC and the Repentant, who helped secret her away. But they lost her. I think probably. Oh, fuck. Do we want to have? Okay, here's what it is. There we go. So the wizard knows where she is, because the wizard knows all kinds of stuff. He's very well connected. So the wizard knows where she is, but his help is going to cost them. So I guess for me, it's like, if they go to the wizard, I guess we called him Mr. Wizard, maybe. I gotta check with Max. Mr. Wizard. Okay, but it's gonna cost him. If they go to the wizard for help, he asks them to. What would he ask in response? Like, yeah, I know where your sister is. I can help you with that, but you have to do something for me. He wants information. And it has to be something that would be conflicting with, like, I want it to be like Seraph, right? He asked them to learn something. Oh yeah, about Mugen Jishi, and then relay that to him, right? Essentially, betray Seraph, right? Because again, you want to put everybody. All role-playing games thrive off of choice, and choice works best when neither option is the clear choice. So if I say, okay, you know one person you can reach out to, the wizard knows everything. So they reach out to the wizard, and the wizard's agents say, yes, we can help you. We can definitely help you, but I need you to find out the real name of the hard holder, right? Find that out for me, and we'll talk. Yeah. Okay. Maybe like, who is the hard holder? I'm gonna just call him that in the show. That's his title now. Okay, cool. If they go to the wizard for help, he asks them that. So if they go to Seraph for help, so what would Seraph know? Seraph would know. They could like reach out and ask. Maybe they like spotted her with her captors somewhere, like on Halger or something. Let's go look at Halger real quick. I just don't want them to like, I guess I want them to leave. I'm okay with them leaving Pilgrim's Gate because this is the home base. So they go to Seraph for help. Seraph learns that she was last seen on, where the fuck is Halger is in this system? No, because all the other planets in this system suck, right? Yeah, Seraph is walking a tightrope politically. Yeah, exactly. That's what makes him so interesting. Cabina. Halger. Oh, it's over here. Perfect. Okay. So, but then why would she just be on Halger? I want them to see her like the last time she was seen was, fuck, there's nothing. We're in the fucking ass end of the universe over here. You know what? Let's say, oh, I see. She was kidnapped and someone took her to Sean to like sell her maybe or something. Let's go to Sean. Let's go to Scary Pirate Planet. Yeah, let's say that. That makes sense. Okay. So she was last seen on Sean in the company of some pirates. And then they have to go and investigate. Sean. Yeah. They go there and then figure out. Obviously, she's not there. Obviously, she's moved on. But they're tracking down a missing person, right? Okay, so he's last seen in Sean in the company of some pirates. They'll need a ship and to prepare for the less than hospitable locale that is Sean. Cool. Okay. So my idea here is that Pilgrim's Gate and this planet, this base, Cabina, all this stuff, this is home base for now. So they're going to go out and do stuff, but they're going to return to Pilgrim's Rest. And eventually they'll get the attention of the guys at the council at Mugen Jishi, and then they'll probably start getting missions and stuff from them directly. And they might, if they're interested, they might get tied into the Verona Enigma, right? We might learn more about what that is and how that works. Cool. Okay. All right. So I don't really need to worry super hard about like where she is yet because nobody in the system, like nobody in the game knows. I think that might be, I guess there's one more thing I need to think about. There's one last thing I need to think about. what about Yancy? So, Yancy, after losing the PCs on Yakia, oh my god, I can't remember if Eridanis changed the... Anyway. Yancy, after losing the PCs on Yakia, gets all pissy about it and leverages his connections to go looking for them. They have a brief respite from his attention, but unless they're very careful, eventually someone will narc on the PCs from Pilgrim's Gate, right? Eventually someone will recognize them and be like, I saw them, right? He basically, of course, Yancy puts a personal price on their head, spending his mom and dad's money, spending his to put a general bounty out for the 6 missing synths. Cause why not? Let's do the thing. If the House of Crux would like to spend a faction credit on this, they certainly could. That is definitely an option. This is also, also you could just leave it to Yancy, right? The family of Banyas. But yeah, he would basically just be like, God damn it, fuck. All right, I'm putting some money out there. Prism, put it on whatever your bounty board is. Let the scumbags of the universe know I'm looking for these people. So yeah, okay, there you go. So I think they just have a reprieve from their antagonist for now, but we need to keep track about how that works. Now, we're almost done. I'm almost ready for tomorrow's session. What I do need to do is I just want to take a little look at the favor economy. Yeah. So in this game, there is a thing called the favor economy. It comes from the equipment section of the Shadow of the Beanstalk supplement for Genesis. Shadow of the Beanstalk is a game built, much like ours, on factions. There are corpse and anti-corpse. There are, and if you touch them, they explode. But basically, there are groups that can offer favors to the PCs. Yeah, Chris, I think he wouldn't out them as synths. I think he would just say the House of Crux needs these individuals. I'm pretty sure. And you know what, Crux, if you have any lore about outsourcing to mercenaries for the purposes of hiring fugitives, like talk to me about your Wild West bullshit, because I would love to hear it if you have some like specific stuff for that. But yeah, the favor economy is basically an extra thing the players can use to get things they need. So there are 3 kinds of favors. There are small favors, right? Regular favors and big favors. Small favors are like loan me an item or give me an item worth 100 credits or less. Give me a ride somewhere, loan somebody a tool, right? Nothing too serious there. Regular is like more credits. Give me a ride somewhere further away. Loan me a weapon. Save me in a fight. And then big are like kill somebody, save somebody, give me something illegal. Take me to another planet, right? So the way these work is if you're owed a big favor and you want to ask for someone smaller, you can kind of string them along, right? And this is a coercion versus discipline check. That's fine. And then exchanging a smaller favor for a bigger failure, et cetera, et cetera. So we got to kind of figure out how to make these like trackable, right? Because like in this, I guess maybe this is something the factions can do because, oh yeah, okay, all right. So I guess what I need from each faction is favors, right? Favors they can offer. Examples of small, regular, or big favors they could potentially offer the characters of a role-playing game. Now, it doesn't have to be these specific characters, but like if somebody, and this is like a useful little part of, we could add this to the little like GM module. If we ever release a Verona module for role-playing games, this would be something that would go in there. So I guess each faction can detail what kind of small, regular, or big favors they might be able to provide for PCs. Oh, that's fun. That's super fun. Okay, I'm gonna make a note to do that, and I'm gonna reach out to the factions and ask them to have their reps fill that out. So let me let's see. Get Verona reps to detail favors if they haven't already, because I know some of them have already thought about this. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so our game isn't set in the Netrunner or Android universe, but we're using the same system to fill in a bunch of the gaps. It's a special system. Yeah, cool. Well, that's fun. Oh, I like that. That's exciting. It's a good way to get the factions, again, further involved in the game itself. Okay, cool. Well, I think I'm ready. I think that's about it for Verona. So I'm gonna move on now, and we're gonna do GM prep for some GM prep for Court of Swords. I'm gonna take like 3 minutes maybe to grab a drink. We'll run a quick commercial, and when we get back, we'll start doing prep for Court of Swords. So I hope you will stick around for that. If not, thank you for coming. And remember, brand new episode of Verona tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific, Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific. And if you're watching this on YouTube or in the VODs later, this is the prep. This was the Verona prep for episode number 7 onward. So now you know where it fits in the playlist. Yeah? Yeah. Okay.